love to spend my money at a bookstore. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, happy Friday. Crack open a cold one real quick with me. Welcome to Bookmas Day 6. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Sammy, Sam Marie, Samantha Marie a lot, if you will. Today, we added another part to this series. We added another part to this series of ranking bookstores in some areas. It started on our New York trip here. Then we went to Columbus for a wedding here. Columbus, quite the metropolis of indie bookstores. Had no idea. And we live right outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's where we headed today. Pittsburgh, somewhere we frequent often. You know, that's kind of like our city, our hub, I suppose. There's a couple of bookstores, probably 3, I guess, that we frequent, and that is the Barnes & Noble, the Half Price Books, and then we'll go to Posman Books, which is one of the stores that we went to today. Some honorable mentions for today's videos, ones that aren't going to be in the ranking, we didn't go to them yesterday, they weren't really a part of this, but they are ones that I go to just because of the convenience. But there is a Half Price Books right by our F45. It's a great Half Price Books. No complaints about it. When you first walk in, they have a whole bunch of new release options, good pricing for different options. Half Price Books will buy your books back from you, and that's how they kind of sell their books. But sometimes they'll have specific editions of books too. I also found, can we see that? I found a UK edition of People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, so that was cool too. We love the Half Price Books. You can get affordable options. Our second honorable mention is going to be the Barnes & Noble of South Hills Village. It is attached to a mall, so you're going to have other shopping you can get to while you're there. South Hills is very convenient to a lot of people in the area. If you're looking for convenience, if you're looking for a traditional Barnes & Noble, that's your place to go to. Sometimes they do put tables of books in obscure places that I was not expecting them to be in. I mean, it's a Barnes & Noble, you really can't go wrong. But yesterday, we went to 5 different independent bookstores. Shop small, shop local if you can. We are going to be ranking 5 of them. We'll start at number 5. But all of these bookstores were, 5 stars. They were perfect. I think a lot of it is going to depend on what's convenient to you. What are you looking for? What do you like? When I'm going into like an independent bookstore, I'm probably not gonna like not support the business. So we bought some books. We bought some books. Don't worry. Not that you were worried. Were you worried? I might have been worried. Starting off, number 5, we're gonna go Mystery Lovers Bookshop. This is a little bit outside of Pittsburgh. Not going to be the most convenient for myself, but this is a cute independent bookstore, mystery themed. They mostly hold mystery and thriller books. That's their thing. It is a themed bookstore. We love a themed bookstore. Me, myself, and I'm not the biggest mystery and thriller reader. It's not my genre. My genres are fantasy, romantasy, romance, general fiction. Thriller is not a number 1 top dog for me. That's really the biggest reason this is coming in 5. I'm not really normally looking for mystery or thriller books, but if you are, this would be your place to be. When you first walk in, there are other options for books. So maybe you are a mystery thriller lover, but you have someone with you who is not. They have a section that they can browse to. Right at the front, there's going to be a lot of new releases, some romance. There's some Christmas books there because 'tis the season, right? But then all along the wall in alphabetical order is going to be all your mysteries, thrillers, all that good stuff. They did have a YA section in the back, and they do have a good little children's section, toys, things to do. I love to see that in these bookstores, so that way, you know, if a mom is out and about doing her thing, her kid can go in the section, play with the books, play with the toys. I think that is such a good thing to incorporate into your bookstores. The workers there, fantastic, amazing. They were in like a little bit of a shift change, so the first person came in, asked if we need any help, asked if we were looking for anything specific, and then when shift change happened, the next person did, so they're on top of it there. Super cute, super fun. You do get a bookmark with every purchase. They did ask us if we wanted one, which I think is nice, just so like things don't go to waste. Obviously, we wanted the free bookmark. It was pretty quiet in there. I think to add to the theme, they could play like some mystery suspense music in the back, because that would be really fun. The surrounding area though, it's Oakmont. Super duper cute. It looked like we just like put ourselves into a Hallmark movie. I did get a book, of course. We're supporting local when we can. I'm very much liking the dark academia Academia world. I started reading The Secret History, really enjoying the setting, the writing, the mystery of it. One of my more recent thriller reads that I'm really enjoying was The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. I think that dark academia aspect into a thriller is what's really gonna work for me. So I'm like in there doing quick Google search. I don't have time to be watching YouTube recommendations or TikTok recommendations, but when I look up dark academia thriller vibe, the two main things that came up was The Maidens, which I just read, and the other thing that came up was Tana French books. Never read a Tana French book, but they're giving like serious novel for sure. This is The Likeness. It's definitely gonna be a little bit outside of my comfort zone, but I like that. You know, we need to expand, we need to evolve. But it says, 6 months after a particularly nasty case, Detective Cassie Maddox of Dublin's murder squad is summoned to an eerie crime scene. It's only when she sees the body that Cassie understands the hurry. The victim, the young woman, is Cassie's double and carries ID identifying herself as Alexandra Madison, an alias Cassie once used on an undercover job. Suddenly, Cassie must discover not only who killed this girl, but more importantly, who is she? And it was picked like best thriller novel by quite a few things. Excited about that. So still a 5-star time, but it's 5th on our list. Now 4th, also another fantastic time, Stay Gold Books. This was such a cute, cozy bookstore. This is probably the coziest bookstore I have ever entered, ever been in. The smell when you walk in the door, unreal. It smells divine. Very quiet, very cozy, very like small environment. So we might have had a little bit less filmed there because they have this cute cozy couch section and there were people like working and reading and doing things, and so we didn't want to make people uncomfortable. It was the smallest bookstore we went to, so therefore the smallest selection. However, great selection. A really good selection. They had a lot of cute merch. The bookmarks were really cute. You could buy your book and then probably even sit in there for a little while and read it if you wanted to, or you could sit in there, read it for a little while and then buy it or whatever you're doing. You could get really cute pictures in this bookstore too. They do hold events and book clubs there too, which I could see how that would be fun and comfortable and cozy in the atmosphere. The atmosphere really would work for that. There's not too much else to say. Small selection, great selection, but the small selection lends itself to the cozy atmosphere. I mean, I would frequent this one if it was convenient. If it was right in my way, I'd probably stop there every day. You just walk in there and you felt at peace. You felt calm, cool, calm, and collected. And I think the setup works too for a small business because it feels like a place that you do want to buy something. You're gonna get a bookmark with your purchase there as well. I got The Bewitching by Silvia Moreno Garcia. This is New York Times bestselling author of The Mexican Gothic, which I have not read, but that was very popular. Whenever it came out, it was very popular. This just sounds great, and the praise on the back of the book is just endless. We are following 3 different women in 3 different eras who encounter danger and witchcraft in this eerie, multi-generational horror saga. The setup's giving Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, which I enjoyed too. But yeah, it's giving dark, it's giving gothic, it's giving, we're probably going to talk about, we're gonna have a good commentary on womanhood. I love a witchy book. This is gorgeous. I saw this, I read it, I didn't need to pick up anything else. I did pick up other things just to browse around, but literally I saw this book staring at me and I said, you're gonna have to come home with me. Now number 3, again, 5-star experience. This is a bookstore that I do frequent because it is often convenient to us. It's in the Strip in Pittsburgh. That is Posman Books. There's a whole other bunch of shops, places to get coffee, tea, food, plants. There's a cute plant store. Great location. So if you want to have yourself a bit of a do, this would definitely be a place to stop along the way on that do. We love Posman. Very inviting, very organized. You walk in, there's a lot of tables, and the tables underneath have like display shelves, so look at those too because there's going to be more books. And then off to the side they they'll have like cards and maybe more non-fiction books. That's a section I don't frequent often. Then you'll have fiction along the wall, all alphabetically organized. Past that there's a little fantasy section. In the middle they have a Sunny Angels, a lot of blind boxes, which is really good. So they have like little trinkets, little toys. They have this huge bin filled with pins. They have a great little kids section. They have this cute little seated area that that kids could sit into while they're there. There's ice cream in the store. They have a little ice cream shop that shares the same space, but there's a lot that you can do and spend your money on in this bookstore, and I have never walked into Posman Books and left with nothing. They have this section of classics, and they are my favorite editions of classics I've ever seen. It's almost what I bought, but I know they're still gonna have it, so I was like, maybe I'll get it when I know the time is gonna be then that I'll read it, because I want Jane Eyre. I want to read Jane Eyre as my next classic that I ever read. That's on the list for 2026. I'd like to read that, but when I do, I'm getting that edition. If you're looking for classics and you like love a Tim Burton vibe, get your classics from Posman Books. You get a bookmark every time you're there too, so I probably have about 6 or 7 of these now. And while we were there, this is not something that's been on my radar, but I got Spellcaster by Jamin Eve. I haven't heard anything about this, but I believe this is just a standalone romantasy. I don't think this is going to be a series, unless it is, and this is just the first one that's just come out. It says, to fight a monster, she'll need a monster. That hooked me, okay? But it says, welcome to Weatherstone College. Don't walk the halls late at night, don't disturb the ancient magic, and don't, under any circumstances, ever trust a spellcaster. This female main character, she's just turned 22, and she gets accepted to the most prestigious witch college in the world, which is Weatherstone. She comes face to face with the son of her father's enemy, Logan Kingston, day one at school. He's a powerful spellcaster, and she's been warned against him. So it's giving enemies to lovers, fun little romantasy read. It is giving dark academia with the college. So I'm very excited to read this. Is like 320 some pages. I think it's just a single book, which is fun. You don't come across these very often. Okay, coming in number 2 is going to be White Whale Bookstore. Love this one too. Gorgeous independent bookstore with a very, very, very good selection. They have a lot of books. There's 2 different doors that you can walk in. The one on the left side brings you directly into the bookstore. The one on the right side is still the bookstore, but there's coffee, beer, snacks, food in that section, and there's seating area. Depending on what you're there for might be the door you want to go into. I've never actually had the coffee. We would have gotten it, but the bookstore we had been to before, we got a coffee close by to that one, so you win some, you lose some. We love this. I've been here once before, but it's not super convenient to like places we normally are, like Posman's in the Strip, and Half Price and Barnes & Noble are in South Hill, so those are just normally more convenient. Those are places we tend to be in, but if this was like right there, I'd be here all the time, because you could walk in, get a coffee and a snack, and then walk around and look at the books, or you could do it the other way. You could get your book first and then leave with coffee. Hey. And something that I do love to see is amongst their bookshelves, they don't have a specific staff pick section, but amongst their bookshelves they have like little papers that they've inserted in for staff picks. So the romance section has them, the YA section has them, the fantasy section has them, the new releases has them, the general fiction. But when you walk in on the bookstore side, there's going to be tables in the middle. Those tend to be more new releases, things that have just recently come out, and then fiction is all along the walls. Alphabetical order. Back, right? Romance. A little bit before that is YA, and then there's thrillers in that section. We were not in the other separate room too much. They do have more books over there, but it was so busy when we went, and a lot of people were studying and working on things and just sitting at the table. So that's only caveat to this place, is if you are just there to like browse and shop, it's a little bit hard to do that on the other side if they're busy. But I mean, if you were really looking for something in that section, you could ask the bookseller. Super friendly at the cash register. I mean, they love what they do, so, and they love to read. And I did see somebody was browsing, and they had their kid in the kids section while they were there, like playing with the toys, and I just think that's so nice. What I got while I was there for like $12, I got Immortal Dark by Tigist Girma. I have seen a lot of hype about this. I know this is a YA fantasy. It says a lost heiress, a soulless vampire, a secret drenched in blood, and people are loving this. I know it's definitely giving dark. It looks like her sister goes missing, so she has to go to this academy, this university, and there's a lot of darkness. Maybe there's a love story. People are loving this. You get a cutie little bookmark at White Whale as well. Coming in number 1 for yesterday is gonna be Riverstone Books. They have a couple locations, but it's still independently owned by a Pittsburgh native. It's a small business, but it's giving somewhere in between like a small business indie bookstore and in between like a full-fledged Books A Million and Barnes & Noble. Very nice, very well organized, big, but not too big. Like it's not like Barnes & Noble big. They have more like display shelves instead of tables, which a lot of the other ones have. They have a lot of staff picks. They had a whole staff picks like tree. They had like these books that looked like tree branches. General fiction all along the wall, and then it gets specific into the genres. There's a romance section, fantasy, YA. Oh, and then they have another whole staff picks case of books too. It was just so nice. The selection was so good. There was so much room. Like if it was busy, it would have been okay. It wasn't aisles of books, which I think maybe was what was nice about it. You didn't get stuck in an aisle of books and you're both trying to like wiggle your way through it. There's like a section, a big wall of books, and then there's a lot of space. So like we could both be standing here and I could still be looking and seeing things across that way and looking here, and you could be looking there and here, and then we could comfortably cross, which I think the space was what made it. The way they decided to put the books up and display them and not have these teeny tiny aisles really, really worked, I think. But yeah, just overall great selection. I love good staff picks because it makes picking out your books really, really easy. If you're like looking to branch out, you know, people who spend their whole day surrounded by books, they're probably going to be the ones to go to for help in that department. The shopping and like surrounding areas, the coffee, I wish I remember what the coffee place we went to was called, but good coffee. Yeah, number 1 was a fantastic time. I really think it had something to do with the way the bookshelves were made. You just stood there and looked at all of the books instead of like being in a teeny tiny aisle trying to cross paths, apologizing. I got Good Dirt by Charmaine Wilkerson. This is the author of Black Cake. This just grabbed me in the... Number 1, I loved the cover. The cover definitely did something to my brain. Because of that, I picked it up and read it. The summary got me, and sometimes I'll lean on like Brian for help to like pick up books, and I just let him read it, and he's still like, this sounds so good. And I like to pick up books that I think maybe he'll read one day too. Because like a lot of the books that are more like my romantasy or romance, like he's probably not going to get into those a whole bunch. But it says, sometimes the only way forward is to look back. When 10-year-old Abby Freeman heard the gunshot, time stopped. When she saw her brother Baz on the floor surrounded by shattered pieces of a treasured heirloom, her life felt shattered as well. The crime was never solved. Ever since, the Freemans, one of the only black families in a well-to-do enclave in New England, have dreaded becoming the center of another media frenzy. But when now grown, Abby's high-profile romance falls apart, that's exactly what happens. So she flees to France. She's leaving her life behind her. She realizes that the handcrafted piece held more than just her family's history. It might also be the key to claiming a new future. It's gonna be quite the book, getting into like family and grief and heartbreak, their resilience. And then for the praise of the book, a remarkable exploration of family bonds, grief, heartbreak, friendship, and the deep scars of slavery and racism. Good Dirt seamlessly links the tragedies and resilience of our past in a way that is both brilliantly resonant and heartbreakingly beautiful. This novel solidifies Charmaine Wilkerson's place as one of the great multi-generational storytellers of our time. I don't know if we got a bookmark at Riverstone. Those were all of the bookstores that we went to in Pittsburgh. That's the ranking. Some are going to make more sense for other people while others are going to make more sense for them. I had such a fun time doing this. I love to go support the small local businesses. I love to buy new books. I love to spend my money at a bookstore. So me, thanks for coming along. Thanks for watching. I hope you get the opportunity to maybe go to one of these bookstores. Pittsburgh has quite a few. We didn't go to, there's still a whole selection more of bookstores that we didn't get to because I think 5 bookstores is a good tally. It's a good tally. And I think we got to some pretty good ones, and they were in different like sections of town too, which is good. But yeah, it was a great little time, a great little day we had. And thank you for watching. Happy holidays, happy Bookmas season. Let me know somewhere you want us to head to next and do this. I'll check out the bookstore so you don't have to. I'll let you know the vibes so you can figure out what's gonna make sense for you if you are in a bit of a rush, in a bit of a pinch. I will do it for you guys. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful weekend.